It is Monday again. And somehow, you are having the exact same argument. The decision you thought was settled is back on the table because the context evaporated in chat threads, meeting notes, and half-remembered Slack messages. Someone asks AI for the latest answer, and it confidently spits out a different one. Now people stop trusting each other, stop trusting the tool, and work slows down without anyone naming it. You do not have a speed problem. Moving to slide 2. Here is the real failure mode. Your team has no shared memory, so every new hire, every stakeholder drive-by, and every model response reopens old doors. There is no decision ownership, so nobody is accountable for closing the loop or defending the call. There are no clear constraints, so debates stay infinite because the target keeps moving. There is no evidence trail, so the loudest opinion wins, then loses later when the room changes. And there are no expiry rules, so outdated decisions linger until they explode at the worst time. If you fix only one thing, fix this. Make decisions durable, searchable, and owned. Moving to slide 3. A decision log is that durability system. One source of truth. Human-approved outcomes, not auto-generated guesses. Structured so machines can read it and retrieve it, not just a paragraph buried in a doc. Every decision links to the evidence and the prompts or analyses that shaped it. It is built to answer, in seconds, what did we decide, why, and under what constraints. That is how you stop relitigating this same week. Moving to slide 4. If you want this to work, you have to capture the right fields every time. Start with a decision statement in one sentence, written so a stranger can understand it. Then write scope boundaries, what this decision covers, and what it explicitly does not cover. That prevents side quests. List options considered, even the bad ones. Or not trying to look smart, you are trying to make the reasoning auditable. Then mark the chosen option and why, using evidence, not vibes. Link the supporting docs, experiments, customer notes, incident reports, and the exact AI prompts and outputs you relied on. Now the part most teams skip. Trade-offs accepted, explicitly. Name what you are giving up. Performance for cost, speed for safety, flexibility for simplicity. If you cannot state the trade-off, you did not decide. Finally, add revisit triggers, not review later. Write the concrete conditions that reopen it, like a pricing change, error rate threshold, a new regulation, or a missed milestone. Moving to slide 5. Turn debates into fields so they stop being personality contests. First, an assumptions list. If an assumption is wrong, the decision may be wrong, so make them visible. Then, non-negotiable constraints, like compliance rules, budget caps, latency ceilings, headcount limits, or platform requirements. Next, success metrics. What numbers or outcomes prove this decision was correct, and how you will measure them. Add risk tolerance level. Are you optimizing for avoiding catastrophe, or for learning fast, with small failures? People argue past each other when they are actually arguing about risk. Last, set a decision horizon date. This is the date the decision is expected to hold until, unless a trigger fires. That single date kills endless what-if spirals, and keeps the team focused on evidence over opinions. Moving to slide 6. When decisions get challenged, opinions lose fast. Evidence wins. So you build every claim like it will be audited. First, store source links, not just titles. Save the URL, access date, and the exact section you used. Then, attach data snapshots. That means the table, chart, query result, or export as it looked when you made the call, so later changes do not rewrite history. Add user quotes, but treat them like data. Include who said it, when, the context, and whether it was solicited or spontaneous. Record experiment results with the full setup. Audience, variant definitions, guardrails, run dates, and stopping rules. Then, score confidence. Give it a scale you use consistently, and tie the score to evidence quality, sample size, and how direct the measurement is. Do this and you stop arguing about who is right. you start checking what is true and where it came from. Moving to slide 7. If AI helped you decide, you need prompt provenance the same way you need citations. Save the exact prompt text, including any pasted context, and keep the ordering. Small changes in phrasing can flip an answer. Store the model and version, because behavior drifts across releases. Capture system instructions and any developer guidance, since they quietly shape tone, refusal behavior, and risk tolerance. List tool calls if the model searched, read files, queried a database, or executed code. You want the full trace, inputs and outputs, so you can reproduce it. Then summarize the output you actually used. Quote the lines you relied on, and rate them. Was it factual, speculative, or a proposal? If it made claims, did it cite sources you can verify? If it produced numbers, can you recompute them? When you can replay the exact AI run end-to-end, it stops being magic and becomes a dependable component in a system that can retrieve the right facts on demand. Moving to slide 8. Retrieval fails when your knowledge base is a pile of documents. Make it a graph of decisions. Start with stable decision IDs. Every decision, assumption, and metric gets an immutable identifier, so links never break, even if titles change. Tag by domain, so search can narrow fast, like billing, onboarding, fraud, or clinical. Extract entities and dependencies. If a decision depends on a metric definition or an upstream policy, link them explicitly. Write embedding-friendly summaries. One tight paragraph that states what was decided, why, and the constraints, using the exact terms people will later search. Then, add hard links to parents. Meeting notes should point to the decision record, not the other way around, so retrieval lands on the canonical answer, not the debate. Do this, and when you ask, "What are we doing and why?" you get the current truth with its lineage, not a stale screenshot that slowly pulls your team off course. Moving to slide 9. Context drift happens when words quietly change meaning. Fix that with a few small artifacts you maintain like code. Keep a glossary for terms that trigger disputes, like active user, churn, risk, severity, and compliant. Create a canonical constraints page that lists your non-negotiables, like privacy rules, latency budgets, or brand requirements. Maintain an approved assumptions registry, so everyone knows which shortcuts are allowed and which need validation. Add a default metrics library with exact formulas and denominators, plus where the data comes from. Finally, reference a risk rubric so people can categorize changes the same way and escalate consistently. When your language and constraints are stable, your decisions stay stable too, and governance becomes lighter because fewer misunderstandings need correction. Moving to slide 10. You can have governance without slowing down if the rules are simple and enforced. Assign one decision owner. That person is accountable for the final call and the evidence record. Use a two-approver rule. One approver for domain correctness, one for downstream impact, like security, legal, or data. Put a time box discussion window on every decision, so feedback happens while it is still cheap to act on. After publish, lock the decision. No silent edits. If something must change, treat it as a new decision with a link to the old one. Allow exceptions, but require written justification tied to evidence and risk level. When the path to yes is clear and the path to change is disciplined, you move fast without rewriting the past every time someone reopens a settled question. Moving to slide 11. If you want decisions to stick, make them hard to reopen. Before you close a debate, write the reopen criteria. What new evidence would actually change the call? Who needs to sign off? What data source counts? Then state the cost of change, like engineering days, customer risk, or roadmap delay, so reopening is never framed as free. Add a rollback plan that names the trigger, the owner, and the steps, so you can move forward without fear. Finally, enforce a sunset date. If the decision expires in 90 days, you do not reopen it early, you simply review it on schedule. This turns reopening from a reflex into a disciplined process. and it keeps your team building instead of relitigating. Moving to slide 12. Once you have a decision log, AI can enforce it without playing manager. You can have it detect duplicate debates by matching new threads to past decisions and posting the closest links. It can suggest relevant context, like the constraints you had at the time, the alternatives you rejected, and what evidence you said you would wait for. It can flag missing fields before a decision is accepted, like owner, date, scope, or reopen criteria. And it can summarize rationale in a consistent format, so busy people actually read it. When a change is legitimate, AI can draft a proposal that lists the new evidence, the impact, and the rollback plan, so humans only argue about what matters. That is how the log stays alive, not aspirational. Moving to slide 13. If you cannot measure it, it will drift back into chaos. Track repeat debate rate. How often the same question gets reopened as a new conversation. Watch decision cycle time, from first discussion to final call. A healthy log makes this shorter without hiding dissent. Measure reopen frequency and separate justified reopens from emotional ones by checking whether the predefined criteria were met. Track onboarding ramp time, like how long it takes a new hire to ship a change without stepping on an old landmine. Then count rework and rollbacks tied to unclear decisions. When these numbers move, you can prove the log is not bureaucracy. It is compound interest on your team's attention, and it earns the right to get rolled out faster. Moving to slide 14. Run a 2-week implementation sprint. Start with your top recurring decisions, the ones that keep resurfacing. Design a simple schema and add capture to the workflow where decisions already happen. Ship Retrieval and a few templates, so writing takes minutes, not hours. Review monthly for drift and tighten fields that people skip. If you want the next build and the exact templates, subscribe to the channel. And comment with the decision type your team debates the most, so I can tailor the next walkthrough. Tools evolve. Principles endure.